So, um, let me introduce myself. I'm Reno from Lara, Croft, the Raider community, and I'm very happy to meet you here and to be here in Dubai at this amazing event. So, what can you tell us about Tomb Raider?
Well, this time around we're telling Lara's origin story, as most of you and the fans know. But part of that is really trying to bring Lara back to the forefront as a game property. We really wanted to do something that made people sit up and take note and say, wow, Lara's back. So we
Not
felt
something very traditional, you mean?
yeah,
something to make everyone
it had
talk
to make
about
you
it.
notice it, right? It had to be different enough to stand out. But at the same time, the goal really is for people to come away feeling like it was really a Tomb Raider game, and that was really Lara Croft just delivered in a new way.
Which is, I think, the perfect thing about the demo which we just played here. It was absolutely amazing. It's good to see elements from the classic Tomb Raider and also new elements of exploration, new elements of fighting, and how simple her weapons are. She's not like this superwoman who can do everything, and she's just developing herself through the levels. It's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, and it's great to hear. I think one of the things that, from a character perspective, a lot of people see kind of the vulnerable Lara at the beginning, but I think what you realize once you start to play it is she's already becoming confident and becoming closer to the Lara that we know. So for me, this story is really about building her back up as a character. But the other thing that you mentioned, kind of the exploration, one of the things I'm most excited about is the hubs and sort of getting into these areas where it is not as linear as the opening of the game. And I think from trailers it's hard to communicate that to people, but I think a lot of the fans will be surprised when they realize how open to exploration a lot of the game is.
Yeah, exactly. I've seen how it's different from previous Tomb Raiders, which like you don't have to go in a linear way, or just like you feel like every level is leading you to the end of it. Now you just have this open area, and you can choose to be led, or you can choose to explore yourself and know what you want to do on your own.
Yeah, and I think one of the best examples of that is, of course, in the main story we have some important tombs that you have to explore.
Exactly.
But we also have all these secret tombs that are optional exploration, and I think that, to me, it's really rewarding. One of the things we said from a game design perspective at the outset is we wanted to create the opportunity for players to genuinely feel like they're discovering stuff. And that idea that you find tombs that you don't have to complete is cool to me. It's very Tomb Raider-y to have them sort of be puzzle oriented and sort of tomb-like in some ways, but also that optional exploration is, I think, something that we've pushed more than at least we have in previous Tomb Raiders.
Of course. So are you going to reference other Tomb Raider games and scenes in this Tomb Raider game? Like, for example, the wolf attack was kind of reminding of the first Tomb Raider or the second Tomb Raider when tigers come to attack her.
Yeah, I mean, I think what people will see most is some of those sort of callbacks to classic Tomb Raider elements. So the story doesn't necessarily match the previous stories we've told, but the elements that come into play, there's a lot of moments where we find fans going, oh, I recognize that from this game.
I've seen that before in this game, yeah. So regarding downloadable content, are there any exclusive downloadable content for Arabian countries? Is there an Arabian version? Like there's for Game Store or for GameStop or the others? Is there going to be any special level for Arabian territories or anything like that?
Unfortunately, I can't speak confidently to all of the downloadable content stuff, so I have no informed answer to give you, unfortunately.
That's okay.
Yeah.
So can you know also that will PlayStation 3 this time be treated the same as the Xbox version, unlike Underworld when they got downloadable contents and?
There is.
I know about the pre-order bonuses.
Yeah, there is that. But generally, we recognize that the PlayStation audience is an important part of Tomb Raider heritage. Same with the PC, really, that some people experienced it first on those platforms, and we've done our best to deliver the same game on all three platforms and tailored to maximize the platforms. So we generally treat them all as important.
This is wonderful to hear, because I'm sure thousands of fans out there are excited to hear one word about these things, and they're just afraid they might not get something, or but I'm sure.
And I'm sensitive to that. But like I said, the downloadable stuff is its own beast, which I don't understand completely our plans in that regard. But I do look over the main game on all three platforms, and I'm proud of all three versions.
Yeah, it looks very amazing so far. It's especially the special editions of the video game. It's the box sets. It looks so realistic in picture. So I wonder how amazing it will be in real life.
Yeah, I mean, I know for myself, I'm already looking to pre-order some of those so I can make sure to get my hands on all of these.
That's what I've done. I pre-ordered every single edition of the game. Yeah. So regarding are there going to be any story-related additional contents, or are they going to be mainly weapons and
yeah, we don't have any specific announcements for story content.
Nothing so far. So what can you tell our webpage, Lara Croft, our website, and our Facebook page? What can you tell the fans? Something to get them so excited.
Well, I think we talked about it a little bit, which is just that it's hard to show in trailers everything that's special about a Tomb Raider game. And I'm excited for the fans to play it and sort of experience the whole gameplay. And I feel that exploration is something that I'm most proud of, and also I think people really enjoy the new Lara Croft. I think they'll recognize that it's true to her character, but I think they'll be excited to see her fleshed out a bit.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I've seen her changes, but she's still Lara to me.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't have to be the superwoman all the time. This is the weak part of her, the growing part. This is what's amazing, and I'm excited to see what the future will bring. Will it be connected to other games? Will it not be? What platforms? Maybe PlayStation Vita, or maybe a CGI movie, as so many fans are demanding.
Yeah.
There are so many. I have my page, and so many people message me. Will there be this? Will there be that? And
yeah.
I keep asking myself the same questions, because I'm just as much as they are informed.
Yeah, and I think I'm excited about that. One of the reasons we've really tried to put the best game on screen that we can is because I think as a entertainment property, Tomb Raider really is bigger than that, and it would be exciting to see Lara all over the place again. And so for me, the hope is that we can generate enough new excitement amongst people who are, previous fans, but also, attract new fans and really create momentum behind Lara Croft. For me, it's, and I hear this from a lot of the fans, that it is exciting to see billboards and TV ads, that
exactly,
the idea that Lara's back it feels good, and I'd love to see that extend to, more future adventures and any other way we can kind of celebrate Tomb Raider.
So I've heard, last time I heard about, there was some plans for a movie. Are these plans still going on, or?
Yeah, there's no developments. That they announced interest in making a new Tomb Raider movie, and as far as I know, they're still interested, but I haven't heard any new developments.
So no plans for a CGI movie so far, which is what people are begging for the most.
Yeah.
I know maybe this question, maybe they're just too early to be asked, but I'm sure everyone will be excited to hear a single word about them.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, there's nothing to announce in that regard, but like I said, I feel that we could build momentum behind this and get exciting expressions of Tomb Raider in future games, but also in other medium. That, for example, and I know it's not a CGI movie, but even we've had the opportunity this time even to do some new comic releases and things like that. It's just an example of
to continue the story of the new Tomb Raider, or like to tell
to retell
the story in comic.
No, we have some mostly prequel content in the comics. And I think it's currently part of one of the pre-order opportunities, but just the idea that you see some of the story outside of the game itself, and it just, what I recognize is that people are excited about Tomb Raider again, so we have the opportunity to partner with other creative studios, in this case comic books, but it's something where people seem to be more excited about getting opportunities to tell stories beyond just the game itself, which is great.
Exactly. So the change in Lara Croft's model, was it based on an artist's imagination, or based on Nadine herself, or Camilla Luddington, or where did the inspiration come from? Because she certainly doesn't look like the legend Lara Croft in Underworld. And
yeah.
Like, she does look like her, of course, but like those ones were based on a certain model, and this one is more probably someone different.
Yeah, it isn't based on any of our current Lara actresses. It was really based on trying to re-envision the characteristics of Lara in a way that felt a little bit more grounded, a little less caricaturized or exaggerated. So generally, the artists did a great job, I think, in achieving that recognizability, but somehow making her feel a little bit more like a real person.
Yeah, more alive, rather than the girl of dreams.
Yeah.
More like the person who's from the real life.
And similarly with the world, we tried to, as much as it's exaggerated a little bit, it's an island that has intense personality, but we also tried to create a world that you could kind of believe in and really deliver the art detail that would help make it feel alive and real.
Yeah, the weather system was amazing. It's like you see the rain falling, and you see the whole environment is moving with her. It's not like everything is just still and she's just the only thing moving in the environment and interacting with it. Like, everything is moving, the trees and the leaves and the animals and everything. So reaching the goal and starting cutscene is not the only thing at stake here. There are these side missions and hunting. That's what's amazing about the game.
Yeah, and I love that the world does come to life like that. That is something that I love about Tomb Raider games, is I've often felt like they've taken me places that I wouldn't necessarily get to go in real life, but that they felt impressive and real enough that I really felt like I went somewhere, and we tried to bring the island to life enough that it felt like a living place that you visited.
Exactly. So I just want to say that I thank you very much for your efforts on the game, and whoever is behind it, and the whole game, the gameplay and the graphics and the promotional campaign is just wonderful. And as you said, it makes Lara feel not only relevant to fans but also to new people. So like when you go to store, you see younger people also looking for Lara Croft, not just us who've been playing since long ago. That's a wonderful thing, and it's good to be here traveling from place to place to see something about Lara Croft. That means she's just as big and even bigger than before.
Yeah, and I appreciate that, and I'll pass on the kind words to the team, because they're still at home hard at work trying to put the finishing touches on it, but they've really poured their heart into it, and I think what a lot of us care most about is that the fans that it still feels like they're Tomb Raiders. I think you guys are the ones that, I guess, when I hear that you can enjoy this new Tomb Raider, that is probably the most important thing to me about it.
Thank you very much, and it's been a real pleasure being here, and I really wish you and the team all the best, and my best regards go out to every single one of them, from the simplest to the most complex job that you've ever done. I'm sure each one of them did something that mattered most. And I'm sure everyone on our page is going to be really excited about what you said.
Yeah. And what I look forward to also is continuing to talk about how we can make Tomb Raider awesome. So I'm really proud of this one, but I also pay attention to the fans that for me, it's okay to complain about choices we've made, because that helps us understand how we can do better in the future. So I'm confident that the fans will be excited about what we're offering, but I'm also confident that we can continue to make Lara the best Lara it can be.
And I'm sure, like, whether you pursue what fans tell you or what you think about, I'm sure either way it's going to be loved and accepted either way, because the first Lara was an original idea, and I'm sure any original idea from your side is going to be loved and appreciated, even though it might be different from what they actually want.
Yeah.
So are you planning on releasing sequels on like yearly manner, or maybe continue the story in later ages of Lara Croft, or directly right after where this one leaves off? Or?
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, we're going to continue the story from where this one leaves off. In terms of timing, we don't know exactly what the right timing is yet. What is important to us is that we give every game what it needs to be great. So we will talk about after this one when we think the right timing for the next one is. But we don't want to rush them out in a way that sort of gets us back into a position where we're not giving it everything we've got.
Exactly. So one question I've been asked so much, what about the Croft matter?
That's a popular question.
Everyone keeps asking me this question. What's going to happen to the Croft Manor? What's going to happen to the Croft Manor? Are we going to go back to it someday? Is it the same? Are we in the same time zone, or does this game take place in these years or in the past? Is this in the 60s?
It's set in modern times. And as far as things like Croft Manor, those are exciting aspects to me. So we can't reveal any specific plans about what elements from previous Tomb Raiders we bring forward, but if you look at something like the Batman reboot or the James Bond reboot, that a lot of what they try to do is present a new take on it, but celebrate a lot of the things that you knew and loved about that universe. So we're still talking about the right ways to do that, but we don't, we wipe the slate clean so that we can start the story from scratch, but we also re-envision the things that people loved about the Tomb Raider universe. So to me, there's room to talk about what role the mansion has and things like that. And even the money is there. We talk about it a little bit in the story. Lara's she hasn't touched it. It's in a trust fund situation. Her parents have disappeared, and she's not drawing on that money, but it's out there. So we're recognizing that Lara's past is still true, but
she is the same person. To some extent, she's the same person.
Yeah.
Not like a completely different character that is only labeled Lara Croft.
Yeah. It needs to be more true than just the name and the character. We want to take people, but we don't want to tell the exact same stories over and over, right? So it's a balance where we want to tell fresh stories, but make sure it's the real Lara in the real Lara universe, and just update it to today.
I'm sure this is what everyone was asking about there, because they were like, oh no, we've been playing the game for so long and we don't want the history erased and everything. So that's what they've been asking. That's why I repeated this over and over.
Yeah.
So it's really relieving to hear this from you, that you aim on making her more than just a name and a ponytail.
Yeah.
That's the
celebrating elements of our history, but doing it in a new way.
Exactly. So thank you very much for your time and for the great information. And actually, I'm really excited. After playing the demo here, I'm really excited about getting the games already. I can't wait for what the future brings, whether it's merchandise or video games or download content or anything. Yeah. But most of all, it was really great seeing you.
It was great to meet you.
Thank you very much.
I'm excited to share with the fans.
Thank you very much.
Take care.
You too.